it's Jane here. I'm back up at the plot for a quick midweek video about how to get your own plants for free. Basically what I'm doing is following on with my series of making your own plants and making the most of what you've got. And if you remember last week I did a video about sowing from your own saved seed. That is such a tongue twister, try it. I'll put a link up somewhere. This week what I want to be concentrating on is making your own plants from a supermarket bought pot of herbs. These are widely available now in most supermarkets, and what you will find is you will get a rather sad yet tasty straggly plant that has been forced to produce lots and lots of leaves very, very quickly, and you cut them off, you use them once, and that's it. The rest of it tends to be, if you're very, very good, just put on the compost. If you're not so good, tossed in the bin. And that's the end of that. Next time you need some for a meal, you might go and buy another one of these. However, there's a way that you don't have to do that anymore. So I'm going to take you in the greenhouse and show you what I mean. Okay, there we have it. And yeah, to be honest, you buy it at the supermarket, you think, look at those gorgeous big leaves. The smell's fantastic, the taste's fantastic, but that has not been grown to last very long at all. You can see the stems are all lank, and if I take it out of the pot, you'll see exactly why that's happening. Okay, let's have a look at this then. Like I say, it's been grown purely for like one cut, if you like. So poor little thing. What we're going to do, we're going to discard it from its packaging tomb, and then if we have a little look here, it's got that tiny pot supporting all that foliage there. Can you see? If we take that out, you can see how weak the stems are. If we take that out, look, you can see all those roots there completely, well, I would say verging on the root bound. They are now going round and round. And all that does is force the basil to produce more foliage really quickly. So what we're going to do, that is already quite damp. I'm going to pop it back in there for a second because I don't want to put that out of the way. I don't want to shock the roots too quickly by leaving them out. Anything that you are going to divide, make sure you keep the roots either covered or get them in the soil as quickly as you can. You do not want to be leaving the neighbour's got his mower out again. You do not want to be leaving that just sitting there, even this one that's been in a pot. Okay, so I'm going to get my pots ready. Should I put some vermiculite in? You know what, I'm not going to add vermiculite this time. I'm just going to use the compost because I want these to have as much chance as they can to establish themselves in new pots. So let's do 1, 2, 3. So this is just normal multi-purpose potting compost. Okay, so I've got my pots ready, and all I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it as quickly as possible really, I don't want to put the plant under any more stress than it's going to be. What I'm going to do first though, this is going to seem really, really cruel. I'm going to behead it. I'm going to take off some of these lovely green leaves. Don't worry little plant, I will eat you. They're not going to go to waste, they will go for my tea. To be honest, that's probably as much as I'd use in my cooking, and then the rest of the plant goes to waste really, because by the time you come to use it a second time or the second day, it's usually dead and done. So I'm going to leave a few on. That is a harvest, that's what I'm calling it, a harvest. I shall put that over there, and then here we go, working quickly. Tip it out the pot and put your thumbs in and carefully divide it. And can you see each one of those stems is a separate plant? basically, I mean, that is just 4 seedlings there. So straight away, make a little hole in there. Look, doesn't have to be perfect. Pop them in. Okay. Next one. Working nice and quickly. I only want a few here again. You've got all those roots there. That one's fallen over. I'll pick it up. There we are. Bet Monty Don's got someone to pick it up for him, hasn't he? Oh dear, I'd like to see his blooper reel. Right, okay. That one there, can you see? I am potting them in, getting the roots covered, soil pressed down, not too hard, but firmly. And then, again, just pulling them apart. And I think a lot of this, we worry too much about it before we do it. We think, well, what if we break one of the stems when we pull it apart? And what if we, you know, what if it all dies back and looks awful? Well, you know what? As I say, I've got already there, I've cut those leaves I would have used. Now that's quite a big bit I've got left. I could split that again, I'm not going to. I've got the leaves I would have used. All of the rest of this would probably gone to waste. But instead, I have got myself 4 rather sad looking, I will admit, but 4 separate plants of basil. Now, the really important thing to do is get these as quick as I can, because already they'll be thinking, oh no, what's happened, what's going on? We were all happy in that squeezed pot. I'm going to get them in a tray. I will water them. Look, I need to water the compost in just to settle it a little bit from the top. And then if we see any gaps, we can fill them up. And then we just fill the tray to give it a good old drink. You think in the olden days, if someone had gone through surgery, they'd make them feel a bit better by giving them a bit of whiskey. Well, in this case, we haven't got whiskey, but they can have a bit of water. I suppose nowadays it'd be a cup of tea, wouldn't it? But anyway, so there we've got 4 rather sad looking plants. And the reason I have beheaded them is because I've taken the top off there, the new growth, you can see already, I'll show you. You can see already we've got leaves coming from those joints. And so you will get growth coming from those joints. And you should end up, she says, with 4. Now that's broken, look, clearly that's a casualty. He can go, up he comes. Okay, 4 nice bushy basil plants for nothing, which otherwise would have probably sat on your kitchen worktop or windowsill or wherever you use them. That one's dead, so that can go in the pile for tonight. And you can use them and enjoy them 4 times as much. Okay, so there we go. You can do it with any of the supermarket plants that have got the fibrous roots, so things like mint, what else, parsley, chervil, coriander, anything like that that you can split. Chives, perfect. If you can do it with chives, that's absolutely perfect. You will need to mollycoddle them for a little while. They're not just going to go straight outside or somewhere very cold, because they have been forced, I'm going to eat that one, they have been forced to be this big and flamboyant, and so you can't suddenly, you know, I don't know, put them in basil prison and mistreat them. They'll need looking after, but hopefully in a few days' time, after these have finished sulking, they will have perked themselves up and provide me with a lot more basil to come.